Hello everybody. Welcome to Italy. Italy, one of the few nations that ever existed. The land of pizza, pasta, mamma mia, approved and access. What? Today in Hoi 4, I'm going to be trying to take all of this as Italy. I'll be starting in 1936 and trying to take all of this before I get evicted from my own home. I just want to say two things before we start. 1. Comment, like, subscribe, turn notifications on and share with your friends if you enjoy the video. Thank you. 2. A lot of the beginning is going to be the actual recording and not a voiceover. This is because I decided to write the script after having already edited the first sections of this video. And, you know, I just think they're too good to give up. Okay, let's begin. We got a new gameplay mechanic, and I want to play as Italy. Because I want to. I've not played Italy in years, literally years. How much coal do we have? Oh god! This is disgusting. Oh god. Wow, there is like we have no air force. What is this? Oh my goodness, how is that strategic, bruv? Bro. Does a sewer... No, they don't even get it. You don't even get that. You aren't the strategic location, but this is. Ah, yes. Logic. Okay, so Italy's industry is god-awful, and so is everything else about this godforsaken nation. Insufficient energy. What does this actually do? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, sweet Jesus. Out of fuel. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be agony, isn't it? Okay, so basically, the reason why everyone's about the energy consumption is because it will you into the ass, into oblivion, if you so as much breathe wrong. Need I remind you? Italy starts with 6 pieces of oil, and they aren't even in Italy. I'm screwed. If we run out of fuel, we are going to get absolutely obliterated. Aha, you Ethiopia. You are about to get your you're about to get your ass handed to you. The Italian Empire will be grand. Aha! Yay. Thank you. The place that I cannot remember. Ulsa. Uzza. Yeah, we'll go with Ulsa. Alright, you were wise to do such a stupid move. Do I really want to conquer France? All of that, and they would have surrendered. Bruh. So we're going to invade France. The goal will be remarkably simple. Knock out France, annex the territories that I want off them, puppet the rest, and whatever's left, I'll either puppet or I will simply leave as a rump state. That went about as well as you can expect. What's this? Okay. Let's improve relations with these motherfuckers. And French immediately lose. What the f? Why do you hate me? They have claimed our territory. Yeah, they'd probably do it, actually. So the goal is basically, I'm going to declare war on France when Germany declares war on Poland. And the entire purpose of that will be in order to take over this, before France's collapse. Dockyards. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just build destroyers. Wow, those are the worst f***ing destroyers I've ever used. Wow, you might as well have attached a f***ing gun to a 9mm hull. A 9mm gun to a... f*** my life. Let's have a look at how that improved relations is going. Yes, okay. Are you ready, guys? Yes, I can. Yugoslavia, join, please. By blood alone. Holy shit. Is that a by blood alone reference? I am the greatest 24 player imaginable.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to be keeping that on an infinite, just as a way to keep increasing the, both the naval number. Actually, you know what? No, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to build submarines. Submarines are both better and cheaper, and they're also just a lot easier to build. So I'm just going to do it now and get it out of the way. So, yeah, the entire purpose of this is realistically to just take as much territory as I can as quickly as I can. So, yeah, let's hope that that happens. Oh god! Oh god! What the fuck? What the fuck happened here? Oh Jesus! Well then. That's incredibly cursed. What's this? You need men. What? How do you need men? You've got more men than me! Look at this shit! How many casualties have I suffered? 880,000. I caused 323,000, 242,000, 68,000. Not bad. Hey, Greece. What? Does that mean Romania's gonna be at war with me? No, of course it wouldn't. I mean, what does guarantees even mean? Right? East Africa's held out surprisingly well. I wasn't honestly expecting them to hold out, but they have. Yep, there you go. Oh boy. And I don't have an attack plan because I'm stupid. Yep, there you go. Oh my f***ing god. Well, now Romania's in the f***ing war. But f*** it, we're gonna do it anyway. Let's go! This is not f***ing war. No, I don't need your help. F*** off. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh yeah. Yugoslavia, you are my puppet. Why are you not at war with the fucking Greeks? You're not at war with the Greeks, but you are at war with the Romanians. Genius. Anyway, Greece fucking collapsed. Because of course it did. It's Greece. Expand intelligence. Why are you like this game? Oh, I wish I did that now, but nope, I'm an idiot. The good news though is that because I control the sewers, if they lose, I can just pull my troops back to the Suez Canal. I've ruined this. That's what I've done. Alright, let's go into Romania, baby. No! F*** off! Why are you... What do you mean? It's not even been a year, Britain. I think I actually just gave myself a headache there. Wow, holy. Yeah. Truly an embarrassment. My God, yeah. I'm sure that the intelligence services is the thing that's embarrassing. Thank you, Germany, for being competent. Or resources. Or hope. Or anything. Starting to really have a bad time. And of course, we're losing from the research facility. Because why the would we be able to do that? Because have you joined the war yet? No, you haven't. Why are you like this, Bulgaria? Oh, I want land. Okay, join the war. But I don't want to join the war. F*** yourself. Okay, right. Thank you, Germany. Thank you. And f*** you too, then. Right, with Greece now mine, and Romania now in the fight. Bulgaria. You serious? Germany? There you go. See how fucking quick and easy that would have been had you just done that from the beginning, Bulgaria. Bulgaria, do you have coal? Yes, you do, but you don't have nearly enough. Okay, Germany, guess what? You're gonna get more fucking civs on me. Oh my god, I've got a rubber. Well, that's not fucking good. Hey, Germany, guess what? Even more civs staying, baby. Thank you. How many guns have I got in deficit? Oh, that's actually not that bad. Okay, fair enough. You might be thinking, why am I moving my navy? Well, I have a plan. Basically, I need to take out Gibraltar. Right? Gibraltar is the only other way that the Allies can actually get into our thing. Also, they are ripping my divisions a new asshole over here. The African campaign is basically as close to the end as we can get. Also, I will not be joining the German invasion of the Soviets immediately. Alright? The reason being is, one, I don't have the men to do that. And 2, even if I did have the men to do that, me joining the war would automatically make Germany lose. The AI always performs worse. Oh my god, they finally added that into the game. Anyway, let us continue. So, one of the reasons as to why I'm trying to capture the airfield here is because I need air power, and that's, like, important. Shocking, I know. Lack of supply is killing me, because this is Africa, and Africa does not know what that is. Right. I'm gonna do that. I'm only going to assign these 10 to do Gibraltar. Right, that's it. There you go. For now, let us continue our advance through Africa and try to do what we can with the pitiful amount of supply that currently exists with them. Wow, we are really low on strength. Good grief. We're basically low on everything you could ever ask for, which is a phenomenal thing to happen. Right, we need a... I'm going to build a couple cavalry as well. We don't have tanks. I mean, we do... We technically do, in the same way that Germany technically had an air force in 1945. I need more infantry equipment. I need more of this. I need more of everything, basically. Alright, do you need... Yes! If you can name it, I need it. The Allies are launching a large-scale offensive in the Ethiopian side, while I'm launching a large-scale offensive in the north. Not that I'm really making any progress. Yes, it's undefended! With it being undefended, there's nothing for them to do other than get absolutely fucking bodied. Ha! Fuck you, Britain. Right, with that, the Mediterranean is now secured. I just need to take the islands. Oh! Oh! Right, so let's stabilize the front. And now we're going to start focusing... We're going to keep pushing from Sudan. The plan is we're going to break through here. We're going to drive down and capture that tile, and then that will cut it off. This offensive has gone a lot better than I was actually anticipating. Yeah, now I've got to actually hold this f***ing part of the front. Oh, this will be so much fun! Yep, and now we're back to the absolute agony that is the African fight. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming, really. If you want to hate yourself for all eternity, fight in Central Africa. Oh, God, Sudan, why are you such a bitch? Go, go, Army Rangers. No! Oh, my God! Fuck! Okay, the good news though... Oh! Yeah, so we're just gonna restart and pretend that that never happened. Alright? Because I'm a Hoi 4 YouTuber, I'm meant to be a professional. Ah, yes, of course, because... The second that I need you to control something, Germany, you stop controlling it. Thank you, that is so fucking helpful. Oh, why are you like this? Come on, you piece of shit. No, come on, you're taking the piss now! Okay, well, I'm in trouble. I'm in a lot of f***ing trouble, actually. Yeah, I don't actually... Yeah, I'm just going to be real with you. I have not got a clue. That's the truth. That is the truth of the matter. I have absolutely no idea. No, I am not helping you, Germany, or Hungary, or anyone else of the sorts. I do not have the ability at the moment to invade the... So I don't have the ability to start another war. What hope do I have in helping you invade the Soviets? My goal now, I'm gonna just convoy raid the British until they die, basically. Okay, how's the East? You're getting your ass handed to you. How many aircraft do you have? You actually have more than me. Congratulations. Oh
my God almighty.
Shit. Right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do this magical thing known as, we're gonna do this. There you go. I don't think we have a choice. What do you need, Germany? What are you lacking? Oh! Okay, so basically, oh, holy shit. You're lacking everything. Okay. Holy fuck. Right, we're gonna begin a fucking lend-lease. I think that'd be quite useful. Lend-lease of 300 a month. 300 a month. That should be enough. How much coal do you need? Am I really asking that? Of course we need a lot of fucking coal. Wow, mate. You finally... Bro is speaking from the 19th century. Alright, so the African front is basically a stalemate. Just you fucking wait until this motherfucker joins Free France. That's gonna be fun. Alright, we're just going to do this magical thing called we're just going to increase that to about 1,000 a month. Haha! Yeah! Shit! Available special projects. Yay! We can finally start researching aircraft. And I've still got no fucking coal! Oh, getting fucked. Oh, this is gonna be... Oh, and we're running out of coal again. Oh my god! The Allies are very slowly starting to push me back from Africa, though, I will admit. You fuckers need to move in order to actually, like, defend East Africa. If we lose this... Oh my... Fuck my arsehole! And they've liberated Somaliland. Yeah, no, they've liberated East Africa. There's no nice way of putting it. That's it. The plan is... fucking run and pray and all that other shit. I literally said, oh yeah, by the way, this. And then it just fucking dies! If there's one rule in Hoi4, never say what you're thinking, because my god will the game make sure that happens. But our position is still secured. I'm not panicked. I'm not in a position where I'm actively scared. But I am in a position of, there is a genuine possibility that I could lose. Everywhere else is not going well for Germany, though. I don't give a shit how many casualties you cause. Being pushed back that badly is a fucking problem. Yeah. Oh, fuck, we don't have enough fucking... Oh my goodness gracious. You know it's bad when you don't even have enough resources for the fucking reason. Oh god. Okay, right. Out the spiral, out the spiral, out the spiral. Right. What we're gonna do... So we're gonna get fucked. That's what it's gonna do. I'm going to try to push the Allies out of Somaliland and try to push... Oh no, I don't want to do that. And I'm going to try to push my way to the coast, cut off these troops. Okay, all that, we can, yeah, that works. We've managed to destroy about 10 divisions, roughly. Either way, it makes the position a lot better off. About 7 or 8 divisions. I'll leave an actual tally. I can't guarantee that it will be accurate, but I can say that it will be a bit more accurate than what I'm telling you now. And again, we have more fucking coal issues. Of course we do. Okay, right. What I'm going to try is I'm going to try to drive up across here, because if I can liberate a good chunk of Ethiopia here... Well, liberate... F you, allies! F me, allies! Right, we've made some progress. Made a good chunk of progress, really. But I think that's as far as we're going to get, really. Germany is holding out fine, though, which is fucking relief, believe me. My army is here. That is justifiable goal. Germany has managed to hold off a lot since I started giving them equipment, which is really good. Just keep... Oh, that's no... Oh, that is not good. Oh, that is the opposite of good. How many f***ing casualties have you suffered, is the question now. German-Soviet War. Oh my god. How do you even suffer that many casualties? How have you caused so few casualties in return? When in doubt, go round. When in doubt... Fuck! We're there. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, guys. Just trust me. Vichy France is now at war with the Allies. Yay! That means even more fronts to fucking defend! Right, justification for Ticino has now happened, and they broke the fucking line. Because of course they did! One of the biggest problems with Switzerland is that, on top of being a mountainous son of a bitch, they literally cannot surrender. It is hard programmed into their nation that they cannot surrender. How many casualties have I suffered? Oh! A lot. 135,000 against the Swiss. Reason number 195,000 why I hate fighting them. God. I'm only doing it so I can get a core, but that's it. You know what? You've been completely useless. I'm just going to disband you. Germany is actually managing to hold against the Soviets, and the Allies are now undersupplied in Sudan. Ah, motherfuckers. Let's see how you like it now, bitch. They were forced back, but there you go. Right, there. We've now established a position which I'm happy with. Okay, it's not the best, but, you know, it'll give us a defense, okay? Ah, yes, baby! That's what we're waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! Alright, with the destruction of that, we can now finally turn our attention over to them motherfuckers. Oh my fucking god. Once this pocket is destroyed, we can send the divisions over to the rest of it, and then bing bash bosh. Destroy them. Once they've been destroyed, well, these divisions can then be sent to either the Netherlands or, well, over here. The Allies the Axis have actually managed to force the Soviets out of Bulgarian ports, mostly, possibly, maybe. Never mind, that was the wrong fucking tile. I'm an idiot. Look at Germany. They are fucking the Soviets. Boom. There you go. That place. We finally have recaptured that island, and we still need more. Of course we do. Okay, so we have Ticino, Corsica, Savoy, Malta. I forgot that was a fucking place. I think I'm gonna. Pronto, signore. Cockhead! I was so ready to be like, yeah, baby, and then it was just like, no, the fucking isn't. Oh, okay. Yep, brilliant. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. What? You're stuck in the channel. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you do that? Oh my god. Why are you like this? I can't get them out now. Brilliant. Nice job, game. Now I just have to delete that fucking part of my navy because I don't fucking have anything I can do with it. Are you? Let's conquer Turkey, get it out of the way, and do it as quickly as we can. Couldn't have fucking waited 13 more milliseconds. No, you have to fucking do it now. Fucking dicks. I may have overestimated how much supply that this port can take, and holy shit. I am f***ed off at that. I'm really f***ed off at that, actually. Alright, I'm pissed. I'm f***ing pissed. Right, and then from there, we can go. And Allied divisions are in here. Somehow. Logistics have been sorted. Time to attack. Let's go! Look at that. Look at them greens. Okay, so that was a fucking failure beyond all doubt. Like, oh my goodness. That was actually the worst failure I've had since Switzerland. Fucking incredible. How is it always that the smallest nations have the most fucking agony attached to them? I wonder what would happen if I just click. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at them greens. Oh, look at them greens. And they immediately turn red. I love how instead, yeah, don't go through the gap. Because why would we want to not be fighting? Oh. Voiceover Fred here. I'll start taking over quite large segments in this part of the video, as this is the part of the gameplay which is known as middle late game, otherwise known as MLG. Anyway, so we invaded the Soviet Union, and this went about as well as expected. Unimaginable success with over around the Caucasus, Ukraine, and into Stalingrad. Central Asia would finally know past it. Yeah, that didn't happen. What did happen was that I was stopped in the Caucasus. Brilliant. While that front was actively dying, I put my front line on Bulgaria and the Eastern Front. These had been set up before I joined against the Soviets. The point was that I was going to destroy Bulgaria and then send the remains of those forces from Bulgaria to the main front. I would then push into Ukraine and the Caucasus, join up my forces, and take Stalingrad. Yeah, that didn't happen. Instead, what happened was that Bulgaria became a fortress. As a result, when I researched advanced medium tanks, I decided I would make those tanks into divisions so I could have more help breaking through the enemy lines in Bulgaria. I continued offensives into Bulgaria, and I managed to make small progress with my infantry. But yeah, those Bulgarians were really dug in. Some attacks were made in the Soviet Union during this time. Not a ton of progress was made, but I was actively gunning to cut Odessa off from the Soviet Union. As I had already captured that city, cutting that pocket off would encircle about 40 divisions in a pocket, enough to cripple the Soviet army at this point, especially since they had been fighting so much for the last few years. So, I did that. Yeah. Odessa was a great success. Nearly 60 divisions were wiped out in one go, enough to cripple the Soviet army once and for all. This was also when I turned my attention to East Africa again. I don't actually know why, I just felt like attacking Ethiopia, and what do you know, it actually worked. I managed to overrun the rest of Ethiopia quite easily. Honestly, I was quite surprised it just up and died like that. I genuinely thought it was going to continue for at least another 2 to 3 years, but apparently the Allied convoys were having a really bad time. The Caucasus Front was another story entirely. We had initially managed to do well, but this being the Caucasus and mountains, it means that the Soviets could and did hold off our advances, because that's what mountains do. The situation was unstable, but not a disaster. I was mostly concerned about the town of Rumri. The main thing about this town is that it's right on the border of Turkey and Armenia. The problem was not that the Soviets were pushing me back. The problem is that that town is realistically my only real chance to set up a defensive line which could then hold the Soviets back. If I don't hold or capture the city, there is nothing preventing the Soviets from just driving forward to the sea and then cutting me off, leading to the destruction of that army at a time where I'm pretty overstretched. And unlike every other time, I don't have enough divisions to simply enact an elastic defense. I usually have the numbers to cycle more in a potential area of a breakthrough, but this front only has 48 divisions, because I assumed the front wouldn't need any more than that. It did. It needed a lot more. This was a problem. I managed to hold the ground, mostly due to terrain. Attacking mountains is a whole nother motherfucker to do. But the situation was still problematic, because losing the ability to take the city isn't that big of a deal. It isn't a deal, period. But if they hold the city and then drive to the coast, I'll lose that entire northern army. It was at this point I was curious as to what my Axis partners had suffered, so I checked. Hungary suffered 1.34 million. Shit. What about Germany? Oh my god! I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how Germany is still surviving. 14.2% of the German population. I don't think that's going too well for them. It is also just now that I've realised 9.5 million of that is just against the Soviets. Somehow the Germans have only suffered 1 million casualties against the West. The Caucasus were a completely different story. By this point, my front was actively starting to break down, and worse still, panic time. This was really terrible news. I initiated a counterattack in order to force the enemy back, at worst just delay them. Taking the city made the Soviets outflank the salient that I myself created. Being outflanked does many things. None of them are good for me. The biggest problem is that I am now in a position to be encircled. Now, while this was ongoing, I wasn't particularly worried. I know the script is making it seem like an absolute disaster that would destroy me and my country for decades to come, but in the actual game, I was mostly chill. I was nervous about it, and I was keeping an eye on it, but I wasn't scared. I was just thinking about it. So, checking back on... The flank of my army is now more exposed, and I am now really overstretched, so let's withdraw. The withdrawal went okay. It led to about 3 divisions of mine being encircled, but the rest escaped just fine. There was a problem though. The German divisions were all encircled. And I do mean all. Every single German division that was holding the line for me was encircled. You remember how I said I invaded with 48 divisions because I thought that would be enough, and then it turned out it wasn't? Well, turns out 45 divisions is not enough to hold the line, because the entire line was being held by the German troops. The only position that was falling back was Grumry. Fuck! This now meant I was facing the Soviets alone, with an army that had just been beaten back, unable to retrench, and without the Germans to help me. Oh boy, this was gonna go horrifically, and go horrifically it did. I started this glorious retreat by attacking Armenia, which was undefended. The idea behind this was that I was going to attack and then hold the position, which would increase the cost and ultimately force the Soviets to stop. It didn't. Then Mahabad came about. I don't even know why, to be honest. That fucking piece of shit wasn't a problem. The front was then frozen for a couple of months. Then it broke. The Soviets pushed me back to here, and I was in a pickle. I decided to withdraw. Not only was I now outflanked, like I had been previously, but I was also getting reds across the board, which would only indicate I would lose even more if I held it. So I didn't. I ordered a withdrawal. Pause. I want you guys to think back what I said earlier. What did I say about the reason as to why the front was breaking down? Unable to retrench, unable to retrench, unable to retrench, unable to retrench. What do you think a fallback line is going to do? Yep, you guessed it. The campaign died. This was no longer just a bad thing that had happened. This was now legitimately concerning. If I could not hold the line, then the Soviets could ride straight into Istanbul, and more importantly, the Middle East and Suez Canal. Istanbul doesn't matter to me, as although that is a direct line to my capital, if they captured the city and were able to drive their way up to the Italian mainland, I would already be, as the kids like to say, cooked. But capturing the Suez Canal is a completely different story. As much as I have been talking about the Eastern Front, I haven't mentioned Africa a ton. Mostly, I had assumed it was one, and there was not a lot of updates to give. But you know, and I know, that I have invested a lot of stuff within Africa. Despite the Soviets, nearly half my army is still in Africa and is still actively fighting the Allies. If the Soviets could take the Suez, then BAM! That entire front is outflanked. If the Soviets managed to cross the canal and actually cut it off, then there would be very little in the way of me being able to actually save it. And even if the Soviets surrendered and my army survived, it would be greatly weakened. To put it simply, if the front collapsed, my army would be fucked beyond belief. And the news coming from the front was not good, with the capture of Malachia. What the fuck are these names? With the capture of that place, the Soviets now expanded the offensive across to the north. My position was bad, and my only real option was to withdraw from the current line and re-establish a defensive line further down Anatolia. If I didn't do this, I could lose the entire army in Turkey, and that would end the war, no question about it. Losing the Turkish army is not an option for me. However, the Soviets beat me to the punch. They launched an all-out attack on my line. Fuck! I panic deployed about 120 divisions that I had been training in order to man my front with more divisions. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that earlier, to be fair. I had been training about 120 divisions since before I even invaded the Soviets, because I was undermanned across every front, and my army was really quite small at this point. The 48 divisions was more of just like a, we can do this, but I was always going to reinforce it with like 2 or 3 more armies. Obviously, that did not go to fucking plan. Anyway, so you might think that's the end of the Turkish front. Not quite. I couldn't just send all 120 divisions. That would make my supply collapse like Maduro's presidency. Instead, I sent what I needed, which was about 48. I could have gotten away with 24, but I had 48 to send, so I sent them. The pulling back of this front was annoying. The Soviets continued to attack. This put so much pressure on my line that it broke down. Surprisingly, however, this line actually held without the reinforcements. And with the reinforcements now coming in, I had a much better position to play from. I finally had the ability to counterattack in Turkey, and so I did. The pressure that lifted from me was immense, and along with the rest of the front, the Soviet Union broke down. The Turkish front was finally won. We managed to push the Soviets back, and had managed to break their ability to retake the lost land. Now, with the Eastern Front in the north, there was very little from stopping us from walking in and destroying them once and for all. And that was that. I took the land I could and wanted, and the Soviets were no more. Well, time to invade the British Isles. Once Britain is gone, we can go to America. Most other fronts don't really matter to me as the Allies were already on the verge of collapse, but the British decided to become a goddamn fortress. My first naval invasion was set up. I spread out my forces quite a bit in order to stretch the enemy defences. This is a real tactic appropriately named broad front strategy or offensive. The actual invasion in the south went horrendously. It was reds all along the front with absolutely no sign of showing that I could even begin getting a beachhead. I had a sneaking suspicion that Britain had stuffed their home island full of divisions. Now, did this worry me? Not really. I mean, it was a concern, but at this point the war was all but won. I'm not gonna lie, this next part is exceedingly boring. Like, I've spent 2 days trying to will myself to edit this next part, but I can't bring myself to. It is exceedingly dull outside of this. My brother in Christ. What? And this. Fuck me. Why would you do that? Fun. Fuck! I was gonna try an invasion of the Americas. Never fucking mind. There is literally nothing else to show you. We've invaded Britain twice, and that was literally it. Both times went horrendously because of the aforementioned 700 British divisions. Because, you know, if you want to win a war, recruit the entire fucking population. And I realised I needed to knock out America quickly, because otherwise they could take Greenland, and that would just complicate everything to the point where I don't think I could manage to pull out a victory. Not because I'm in a bad position per se, but because I'd been playing this game for the last week and I was losing the will to live by the fucking second. You can tell because the way I'm reacting is completely different from the beginning to now. The plan changed and the declaration of war on Japan changed it further. Basically, instead of invading Britain, I would invade America. Where Japan factors into this, no fucking clue. I just kind of wrote that for dramatic effect. Knocking them out would weaken the British enough to let me make a landing, though I was well aware that that may not happen. So, for Britain, I planned to nuke the ever-living shit out of their ports and airfields and everything they own. So, there you go. I started preparing to invade Newfoundland. Scratch that, that's the wrong name. I started preparing an invasion of Labrador and Newfoundland, to be fair, but that went nowhere, so let's pretend that didn't happen. The beachhead was secured. I was very happy, as you heard. Now, I won't lie to you. This invasion was not difficult. It wasn't easy, but I didn't really struggle with it. It wasn't an invasion that held the line and pushed us right back. It broke down over time. Listen, I would love to sit here and write another disaster like we had in Turkey, but the truth of the matter is the battle was over. The war was over. We won. End of story. The war was over 4 years ago now, and while I would love to say the American campaign was a pain, it just wasn't. The most noteworthy thing to say here is that the second half of Conquering America and the invasion of Britain wasn't compatible to put on my editor, and I had to upload it to YouTube so I could record it, which is why there's so little footage of it. Again, I would love to say it was such a brutal fight, but it was about as uneventful as you can get. Painful? Sure. Annoying? Sometimes. Air support? Nowhere to be fucking seen. I'm serious, it wasn't until I captured Halifax I had air support. But the actual campaign in America was about as boring as you can get. There's nothing noteworthy here, and I'm struggling to think of what to write, so I'm just writing about how boring the writing would be if I was to write about it. Because the American campaign, I have nothing to say on it. That's it. End of story. Just a quick note. I understand this may be unsatisfying to some of you people, which I can completely understand, so what I'll do is I'm going to upload the gameplay involving both of those invasions on my second channel, Fred2386, just so you have an idea over what it is like. Be warned, it is incredibly boring because I don't even speak in most of it, but, you know, there it is. Britain was a little more interesting, and by that, what I mean is... Let me just show you. Yeah. That's a lot of divisions. I'll let the few clips that are worth playing run now, and there are 2, and they are short. Oh! Oh, that gave me... Oh, that made me lightheaded. Oh, please. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, we've pushed them back. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, fuck me. Oh. Okay, hang on. Patience is key. Oh. Pin them. Pin. Yes. Oh, wait. Oh. You Oh, Brad. You fucked up and you know it. Oh. Rate that. Oh my god! Yeah, that encirclement is by a landslide the largest encirclement I've inflicted on one nation. To put that 240 divisions in context, 30 encircled is usually considered a crippling blow to the enemy. I did 8 times that. Combat, here we go. We'll check that in a bit. Let's go. Let's go. Cheers. Oh, it was gone. Oh, it's gone. It is. It's fucked. Oh my god, that was fucking annihilated. Oh my goodness, you fucking idiot. You just got fucking bodied. Hi, how many casualties are we guessing? Oh my god! Hi, quick intermission here. This is not scripted. I just wanted to make it clear. I am at war with Japan, and I took India in the peace deal. As a result, I now have a front on China. Now, that itself is fine. But I never actually wrote that into the script, nor did I ever actually write it into, like, you know, oh wow, we're now in China. I never actually established it in the video, and it is really going to bug me if I don't make it known now. So, the next clip is me actively advancing in China. That is why. We're going to continue our advance through China. And I've sent a good chunk of my air force over to the front in order to help. And yeah, and then once China's been dealt with, we are going to do this magical thing known as we are going to obliterate the Germans. Oh, I love doing that. Oh, I fucking love doing that so much. That's so much fun to do that. I love fucking obliterating all of my orders. Right, Nanchang has been captured. China, you better be fucking grateful for this, because I'm fucking liberating your I can just imagine Chiang Kai-shek being like, why the fuck would we be grateful? You're occupying us. And I'll be like, nah, it's a special occupation operation. It's not an occupation. We're just borrowing the land. Oh shit, we're actually running. Oh crap. How are we running into artillery and anti-air problems? at this point. If I can make China capitulate, the nationalist one. Wow. Do you have even the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? Shanghai is now mine. Yippee. Yes, the airport is ours. Let's go. Now you might be thinking, shit. But I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking, yeah, now it's time to push. Oh, look at that thing. Imagine having the reorganized government of China collapse. Oh. Oh, and guess what? You haven't even got a port in this area. Nice job. You've just got us trapped. Phenomenal. I am so glad to have you! Okay, that was Japan. The war's over relatively quickly, and it left an almost rump state of Japan behind it. Quite a few factories, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so now this is where the game entered a very cold period. For nearly 4 years, nothing would happen, and this was because I was preparing for an invasion of the German Reich. Now, I know most people at this point will ask, why would you need to do that? Well, it's because last time I decided to invade at this moment, I got absolutely bodied. I know the situation doesn't look that bad, but believe me, when the game is over, it is over. I am very good at telling when I am fucked beyond repair. Remember, I am not British steel. I excel at conquering and defensive fighting, but actually pulling a victory out of a position that I think is lost? Not gonna happen. It hasn't happened before, and it won't happen now. The Germans had far too many tanks and vehicles and overwhelmed the northern sector, alongside my army being completely tied down by other fronts, basically guaranteed those fronts would be encircled. Anyway, back to the cold period. I spent this period of time mostly building up my nukes. To be honest, I knew my army was roughly as strong as it needed to be. The main thing I was worried about was nukes and aircraft. Once those had been sorted, I would leave the Axis. In the meantime, I prepared an invasion of Vichy France. The main reason as to why is rather simple. Despite it not working last time, this was due to unpreparedness, not my own incompetence. If I had managed to open front against the French, it would completely bypass the Alpine mountain range. It also completely eliminates Spain, Portugal, and the rest of the Axis as a nation that I fight. Why? Because I won't be bordering Spain until France is knocked out, and the rest of the Axis will not care to defend either France or Germany, as France is a major. For some reason, only minor nations will help other minor nations, because why would your allies be useful? I set up East Africa as my nuclear headquarters in a way. The main reason is because it's so far from Europe, it'll be safe no matter what. So, after many years of preparation, I finally decided to bite the bullet and leave the faction. This could have two consequences. One is Germany ignores me. Two is Germany invades me. I would know if I'm ready if the Germans don't invade me. So, let's do that. After doing it, this happened. And the Axis is no longer a thing. Now, this may seem like a small thing. Did you catch it? If you didn't, that's fine. But Vichy France is actually at war with Iraq. Iraq is asking to join my faction. Vichy France has its own faction, and Germany is also the leader of another one. Basically meaning I can declare war on France, and as long as I win, no one will be able to stop me. But mobilization is a problem if you justify it allows the French to dig in. If only there was a way to be at war immediately. And with that, well, the only thing left to do So that's it. That's the game. Yay. Truth be told, it went a lot better and worse than I really imagined it would. Lack of casualties was impressive. Only one hiccup, and yeah, it turns out Italy can be a superpower. If you enjoyed, like the video, share the video, subscribe please, and I hope to see you in the next one. The next video won't be Hoi 4, but we will have regular Hoi 4 videos. Alright? Your support really does mean the world to me. I'm trying to make this work for myself. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye!